Hello and welcome to my channel, Crafting with Indiana Jones. I am Indiana Jones and I love, not bees. I don't like bees. That was a big bee. Ah! Really? I don't like bees. Ah, nature. Yeah, let's do it in the park. Let's go film in the park and put some God, I hope he doesn't attack me. He's over there. It's a big bumblebee. They're cute to decorate with, but not in a park. Okay, anyway. Hi and welcome to my channel, Crafting with Indiana Jones. I am Indiana Jones, and if you like shabby chic or vintage or cottagecore, you're in the right place. Today I'm taking part in the Thrift Flip Road Trip Challenge, and I'm currently on a road trip from Miami to Tallahassee. That's right, 8 hours, and here we are at the beautiful Dorothy B. Oven or P. Oven Park. I think that's the name of it. I will correct it down below. Anyway, let's get started and see what I'm doing for today's Thrift Flip Road Trip Challenge that is being hosted by Teresa of our Greene Acres and Kay and Trish, the Crafting Cousins. Let's get started. To say that today's challenge was a challenge, oh yes, sirree, it was. I thought it would be easy enough to do paint inlays. You fool! Let's see where I went wrong. My first victim or subject is this old Jewelry Armoire, and I'm going to use this beautiful toile paint inlay from IOD. And here is the picture that was my inspiration. The most important thing working with paint inlays is have patience. Really have patience and pay attention and read all the instructions and follow them as well as reading them. I'm telling you, I speak from experience, because here I am starting to paint my armoire without taking good notice at what the instructions said when it said chalk-based paint. That's right, chalk-based paint. This is one of those paints that I got from Home Depot, and the good thing is it was a matte finish. So the fact that it was a matte finish helped in the ability to be able to add the inlay. Be very careful the way you line things up. After a while, I gave up lining things up and I just started cutting things out. I mean, this pattern, especially this toile, is really tricky, and it's really hard to line up all the little creatures. I mean, you have these birds and then you have these, I don't know, these other things. I don't even know how to explain them. I mean, just take a look. Can anyone explain what creature is this? I don't understand this creature. I don't know. It's part of the inlay, but it's there. I don't know what it is. Is it a koala? Is it a squirrel? What is that? Well, whatever magical creature it was, if it was a magical koala, I really needed its help, because somehow I kept getting lost as to what part was which, even though I just cut out a piece of it so that I could go around those little knobs. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Annie, wouldn't it be easier if you took those knobs out? I can't take the knobs out because it's sealed. It's like there's a piece of wood covered with velvet on the inside, and I can't get those to, I can't pull it out to unscrew those knobs. So there they shall be. So here's the most important part. Once you paint one layer of paint, obviously, to cover, I did 2 layers. And on the 3rd layer, while it's still wet, and it had to be very nicely, thickly laid paint and still wet, then you attach your inlay. You do it very delicately at first, and what you use is a moistened, ooh, I don't like that word. A wet, is that okay? A wet sponge? A slightly damped, that's better, wet sponge. And as you can see, I'm just sponging down the paper, and it's the inlay with the paint side towards the item. And there I am, checking my instructions again, checking them again, making sure I'm lined up, and then I'm cutting around the knobs and adding the 2nd panel to that front panel. Now, another mistake I made is I should have just used one. See, look, I'm like trying to figure out what matches up with what, but it's not easy because on the back of the instructions, it's actually the opposite. So the bird is facing the other side. Once you set your inlay onto the moistened paint and you put on again, the dampened sponge to spread it down, and I'm using this brush as well. It's just a dry brush. Just make sure that you moisten it again, moisten or dampen, spray the inlay paper again so that it adheres to the wet paint.
Now, you can use any kind of spray bottle if you have any kind of spray bottle. I had one at home and I just used it for this. Now, the grand reveal. We thought this was going to be easy. Exactly. I really was fooled thinking this was really going to be as easy as it was as I watched other people do this. And this is why I'm saying read the instructions. Well, you can watch me for mistakes, but you can watch other wonderful people. But yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. And as you can see here, at my first reveal, it did not. Ugh, what a mess. It did not turn out well at all. And I thought, here I received this wonderful gift of these paint inlays, and I have completely ruined not only my jewelry armoire, but this beautiful inlay as well. And I was beside myself, as you can see, and I was at a loss for what to do next. But I did carry on. And what I did was take advantage and repaint the surfaces that did not connect with the inlay. As you can see there, I have a bird and the tail of a bird. So I have a head of a bird and the tail of the bird, but no body. So I am repainting the body of the bird to be able to try to transfer the inlay once again. And here's the other side of that inlay, which surprisingly turned out a little better, but it wasn't perfect, but at least I was happier. I don't know if it's because I left it on a little longer. There you go. You can see the branches there. It's so much better. I don't know exactly what happened, but there was a difference between one panel and the next. Now here's the side panel, and here I am dampening that panel. And again, a mistake. Look at this. It did not adhere. The paint did not adhere. Again, my biggest mistake was not noticing that it needed to be a chalk-based paint. And I think if it was a chalk-based paint from the beginning, I would not be going through this hell. But it gets better, people. Do not worry. So as I did before on the front panel, and look at that. I mean, not a stitch of paint stayed on. And I'm using the exact same panel. I'm not wasting another panel, because one thing I have learned from watching others using these paint inlays is that you can use the paint inlays multiple times. So here I am trying to do that very thing, and I'm peeling the paint off of my armoire. It's just one disaster after the other, but I just kept trudging on. And there, at least now, I have a full bird body on my transfer to, oh my goodness, this was, I'm telling you people, I don't think I've ever suffered so much. But look how beautiful. Once I got the knack for it, and I would suggest that you take the time to really learn how to do this on a practice piece of furniture or wood. And as you can see in these final results, in this reveal, it looks so great, even with all the difficulties I had. Let's take a final look at the full project.
For my second thrift flip, it was an eyesore that I had around my house. It was this big steamer trunk that was 100 years old. It's black, it's big, it even fits, Luke fits in there. If I wanted to send him to Europe, I can send him in the steamer trunk. Anyway, I thought it was the perfect candidate for these IOD transfers that were sent to me by the lovely Teresa of our Greene Acres. And if you want some of your own, check out Ruth and Ruby.
I love IOD transfers because of their simplicity of use. Here's this beautiful floral design, and I just love this. And the colors are so bright and beautiful that you can use it even on dark backgrounds. Here I am piecing together the full design. That's the most important thing, is to pay attention to the design and take your time while you're making the transfer. I took off the white backing all at once and placed the full transfer onto this full page onto my steamer trunk. And as you can see, I'm not using the right kind of I guess instrument or tool. I did use like a credit card, but look, it's so easy that even with the wrong tools, you know, just using a credit card and one of those Cricut scrapers, the design came out so beautiful. I was so happy. And what I love about it, it doesn't feel like plastic. It feels as though it's been painted directly on to the material, whether it's wood or in this case leather. It makes it so much better because it looks like it's hand painted.
I love working with IOD transfers, and they worked like a charm. No issues, no problems. But I will try the paint inlays once again and again. Today's challenge is being hosted by Teresa of our Green Acres and Kay and Trish, the crafting cousins. They are wonderful crafters and most especially very dear, sweet, wonderful friends of mine. So please check out their channels and the rest of the playlist. So here I am just cleaning up this. It was really filthy, dirty. I actually had cleaned it up even before we got it on camera here. But yeah, it's just a beautiful frame that just needed a little love and a makeover. I hope that you enjoy what I do to this frame, but I think it came out really lovely. I'm also taking off the backing because it was that old velvet backing and it was nasty. It was just nasty. So let's take off that nasty backing and start afresh. So using folk art paint from the Plaid family of product, I am going to paint over this frame to make it more shabby chic, cottagecore, grand millennial, whatever you decide is your theme or your aesthetic. I'm just using the white to cover up all that black so that it matches the other projects. I want this to match that corset that I just made as well. So next I'm going to use some more of that Tim Holtz collage paper. It's this beautiful thin tissue paper that is so easy to decoupage with. I mean, forget napkins and stuff. This tissue paper was made for decoupage. So of course I'm going to use Mod Podge, again from the Plaid family of products. Here I'm just trying to decide how I'm going to set this up, and there's there's the product placement, people. And all I'm going to do is decoupage with Mod Podge onto this frame. I had so much fun. I really enjoy decoupaging. I've got to do more of it. Here I am delicately placing the decoupage Mod Podge onto that frame. It was just so perfect for this. This frame was perfect to decoupage on. I was just absolutely, I loved it. I loved it. Now I'm just cutting it in the corners so that it looks really nice and professional like. And that's it. Now here I finished up all four, well, 3 sides. I'm going to finish up the last side here. And of course, putting some more Mod Podge medium over the actual decoupaged paper. But I had so much fun doing this, as you can tell. I really took my time. And again, I was probably watching something British. Because when I don't know why, I get into, like, some people listen to music, other people watch movies. I watch movies. And especially when I'm doing shabby chic, I have to watch some kind of period, historical, romance or what have you. It just gets me in the mood, seeing all those beautiful. I made a mistake there, so it's covering up. You can see me. Oh, look at me. I'm just covering up that little mistake on the corner, and I left it in the film. So once I'm done with all the decoupaging, I'm going to have some folk art gold leaf paint. This paint is amazing. My friend Lisa actually gave me this paint, so thank you, Lisa. That was very sweet of you. She bought it by mistake, and her mistake became my... I love it. Look at me just paint. I had so much fun just painting this gold. I took my time and I relaxed. Sometimes we rush through crafting, and I really had fun making this frame. I had fun making all my shabby chic items. I hope you can tell. There I am, just like relaxing, making sure I have a very steady hand as I paint this beautiful frame and bring it back to life. And voila, here is my shabby chic frame, made from that frame that was just covered in dirt, and now it's covered in love and flowers. Thank you again to all of you for spending some time with me, and most especially for all your wonderful, kind, loving words. They keep me encouraged and inspired from one week to the next. And thanks again to Teresa, Kay, and Trish for being such sweet, wonderful friends, but most especially for hosting this challenge on a monthly basis. Please check out their channels and the rest of the inspired playlist. As I always say, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure. Subscribe and click the bell so you can see more new adventures every week. Bye! It's with great sadness that we say goodnight to our dear pet cat and our sweet friend Tiger. We'll see each other again